session is designed for the Falcon CrowdStrike XDR, and I don't want to move with the PPTs or documents, so I just started with the dashboard overview. So let's set up the agenda for the call. First, we are going to see like how we have to install the sensors for the Windows, desktop, Mac, Linux. And so while logging the CrowdStrike, there would be three videos. You can use the Windows, Mac, Android, and the iOS. Sensor is available for all the OS, and also sensor is available for the Linux as well. So let's start with the installations, and then we move forward with the policies. Then we will test two features like RTR, network content. Then we will deep dive in the malware analysis, or we will do a live test over the Windows host, and then we will see the custom IOCs and IOA, and after that we will see the whitelisting and the hashing things, and maybe we also cover the investigate or the threat hunting part a bit, and also the fusion workflow, or the you can say the CrowdStrike SOAR part as well. So starting from the introductions, what CrowdStrike itself and the what Firewall technology is, and after that we can start. So this is our name, Firewall technology. We are into the compliance and SOC services. Majorly, we don't cover VAPT, but other than VAPT, we are doing the kind of the SOC, GDPR, HIPAA, DPDPA, and also we are doing the partner with the multiple OEMs like CrowdStrike, and we do a 24 into 7 human SOC. So this is our introduction. Let's move to the CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is the number one EDR or the XDR, or you can say the antivirus company on the over all the world. It's number one since from past many years. Maybe you will recall this from that blue screen incident happened with the CrowdStrike. So that was the reason behind, but still CrowdStrike is the number one antivirus, and this is having around 99% detection rate, and they are claiming that. I'm not supporting that, but yeah, still. So let's start from the installations. You just have to click on the three lines below and go to the host setup and management, and there would be options called the deploy, sensor update policies, content update policies, sensor download, and the each person token, and the mobile enrollment. So let's move to the sensor download policies and the mobile enrollment policies first. So like how we are going to download the sensors. Basically, you see in this dashboard there is only two very important things, which one is your CID. This would be sensitive. Since I'm on the trial tenant, I don't have to hide it from you, so you can see everything visibility. You can like gain the visibility of everything. Either sensor is like just a double click. There is nothing more than that. Just you have to download the CXEs on the your endpoint. Then you have to just double click it and just copy this. That's it. Your sensor would be installed. Other than this, there would be nothing much like complexity. Or then for the MacBooks probably will ask for the some extension permission. That too will be on go. Like it's fully UI supported, and also you can install it from CLI as well. Sensor is available for the Windows, and it is the first sensor, like it is N and it is N minus 1, like the latest version and the previous version. Then there would be a sensor available for the MacBook OS as well. You can see the older sensor of MacBook as well. And there is a different type of distros like Linux, REHL, Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, Debian. There would be a different ones, and for the Android also there would be an application which you have to install it on your systems. Now, a few more information like LTS, long-term support sensor download. The specific sensor which support until 12 months. Suppose that today is like date is 23rd March, so it will support until 23rd March 27. So that's the main goal of this LTS sensor. So you don't have to update frequently, or it's kind of the stable version of the application. Let's move to the mobile enrollment. For the enrolling mobile, you just have to click on, there are three options like invite employees, enroll managed device. Managed device means like the device COPE, device owned by company, and the enroll device. Let's click on the enroll button, and just you have to put the user's email, and users will be getting the email over this. And or either you can generate the QR code as well. Let's put my email as an example. It is asking for the password. Okay. So you can use this QR code, and this will work only for the single device. for this user. So I can just scan this code and install that applications, and after that I will be able to see the device here. No, device will be visible. So after downloading the sensors, you have to see, okay, where is my device? So you just have to go to the host management. In the same panel, host network management, there would be a tab called host management and then host. It will list all those. Since I have installed one Windows sensor over my VM, you can have a look at VM as well. So this is the VM where the CrowdStrike is installed, but policies and nothing is applied. And I have few test status like few viruses. Okay, it is able to detect or not. And I was just checking that. Let's move out of the VM and go back to the test code. So now there is a multiple sections like host, hidden host. Like the if you want to uninstall something, you just have to hide the host. And after 45 days of host retention policies, it will automatically disappear from your console and delete it permanently. Then there would be a sections called host groups and host retention policies. Like okay, after uninstalling the host, how much time? Like okay, if I uninstall host today, it will be taking next 45 days to uninstall this. Like you can see host hide inactivity period. If host is inactive from more than 45 period, it will be hidden, and after the hidden, it will be still inactive for the next 45 days. It will be deleted. So that's the main thing. Let's move back. And the same for the content update policies. It is for the okay, which policies you are applying. Okay, when should my sensor update? You know the reason for that blue screen error is everybody was having the latest sensor policies, so it will automatically deploy the new sensors, and that update was due on the Friday, so obviously it has been crashed. So there is a delay. You can set up the delay up to 72 hours. Okay, like if critical package or something is there, you can wait just for the 72 hours to get it deployed, or like you can make a test environment, then dev and then production instead of directly moving the sensor to the production environment. That's a good thing for the corporate environment. Now let's move to the host group creation. Since we already installed the agent, let's move to the host group, and there will be options, big button called create host group. You just have to click on it, and there are three types of the host group: static by host ID, static by host name, and the dynamic. We can create a rules. Okay, so let's create two groups. One is the static and one is the dynamic. Static by host ID means like after installing the agent, Falcon will be giving us one static ID to your host, and that will be the static. Okay, we can make a test static. This would be a group. It's simple, like you just have to drag and drop the devices. Just click on the add host. And after that you have to select that host. There would be a multiple filter like OS architecture, what is the CPU ID, email, external IP, CIDR, host ID, last reboot. You can make a filters like if you are having a fleet of long devices. Otherwise just click on the add one host to the group, and this host is added to this group. Now let's also create the one dynamic group. Test. So while creating the dynamic group, you also have to create the rules, which would be appearing on the right upper side. Create assignment rules. Okay, right from which rules host should be visible here. So you just have to like that same filter work as the you can just select the architecture. Okay, it is equal to Windows, and just click on the apply, then save assignment rule. So this rule is saved. Now what happens, like if there is any Windows, that will be automatically moved to this particular group. You can see one Windows is there, we can able to see this. So one device can be in two groups, there is no issue, but then there would be some policies issue can be applied. So we will use the test static group as our main group, and we will see. Okay. Let's before moving with the policies, let's see like what kind of details you will able to see about the host. Go to the host. Instead of the host group, you have to go to the host management. Yeah. you can see this is the host name of the device, then host information should be there. Okay, host status, it is online. What is the host type? It's server, last seen, host ID, which is given by the CrowdStrike, and it is static. And the serial number of the devices, Windows version, connections IP, default gateway IP, external IP, where it is hosted, like it's hosted in Amazon ACW. Then you can see the, okay, what was the username and what was the last sign in time, and the network connectivity activities and the cloud provider information sits from the AWS. Then there would be a, okay, which policies is applied, prevention policies, it is default. Like once you download the host, the major thing is prevention policies or any kind of policies, all default policies will be going to applied on the host. You can see on the firewall SAM, the response policies, the sensor update, content update, I already explained to you. Then there would be a USB device policies, host retention policies, telco icon policies. We will like dive deep in all the policies. And then if there is any detection in the shows, okay, you can see a file resident. There is a particular detection via technique called machine learning via cloud-based ML. Okay, so this is the basic walkthrough of the whole how host look likes and how host groups are managed. Now move to the policies. So that would be the better idea. For the policies, I just want to suggest you to go to the any host group, click on that, and there would be a button called policies assignment. You can see there is like how many policies we can apply. No USB device policies, response policies, prevention policies. This is totally based on your subscriptions or like which tenant have you got from the CrowdStrike. You will be able to see the different options. So let's move to the start from the prevention policies, since this is the very important policies, but we will not assign directly from here. We will create the prevention policies in the endpoint securities and then we will assign it. So let's go to the endpoint security and the configure, and there would be a prevention policies. Okay. So CrowdStrike by default offer three policies like the initial deployment, interim protections, and the default windows, but we can always create the custom policies, which I highly recommend you to create. Like final, we can say, okay, all policies are on the OS based. As you can also see, Windows, Mac, or Linux, or mobile policies will be differently. That would be a completely different section. So we can just create the policies for the Windows. Win prevent, it would work. Click on the create policies. Now let's deep dive into this policy. So this is how it's like the structure. There would be options called enable the policies or the disable the policies. So now first you have to click on this button. So your policy is enabled. Till now it's not assigned to any group. Now we can see, okay, what is the capabilities or the visibilities or the what functionalities we want to assign, and what's the, like we can say, the aggressions level for these detections should be. So usually what CrowdStrike recommend is like a few options would be on your side only, since the end user notifications or the sensor tamper protection. If this is not enabled, user can uninstall your sensor easily. That obviously you should not want. So let's click on the, like if you want to show the end user notifications, okay, that's, there would be a, like definitions for everything. You can see here, like once you select the policies, supported platform for the Windows and Mac. Linux, you won't able to see these notifications, and the tamper protection, that is also available for the Windows, Mac, and Linux. All the endpoint, but you can see the user mode of all. The Falcon sensor for the Linux support blocking capabilities for load running ARM kernels that are version 6 or the later only. So like Linux obviously have the limitations. We cannot like do the proper sensor protections for all the flavors, but you can do it for few. Then additional user mode visibility. Then like there would be a multiple settings like interpreter only visibilities, and there would be a definitions on the right hand side. You can also read that. Since we are having a limited time, I just want to select all the like hardware enhanced expert production that is available only for the Intel, instead of there is no support for the AMDs. Then like the DLL load, which is the major attack, then WSL2, memory scanning, BIOS firmware visibility. So basically this EDR sits on the kernel, and you can see, okay, if USB has been, like if some employees connect their USB drive, so Falcon will automatically scan that, and if there is some threat, it will automatically, if there is any threat, it will automatically block it. Quarantine and security center registrations, so like you can also do the quarantine for the devices. If there is a macro, then it can remove the macros from the Microsoft file, and registry operations, obviously boots, scripts, driver load. These are the basic things how EDR works. Like EDR works majorly on the registry basis, network basis, and what processes running are on the systems. And there will be a behavior-based detections like DP bypass, null page allocation prevention, SCH override. Then there will be a behavior-based prevention for the ransomware categories, like suppose that there is a script or there was a PowerShell or some malicious process which tried to encrypt all the data, then Falcon will automatically detect it and block it at the time of the execution. So that's the main work of the like EDR. It will block things on the execution basis, not on the hash basis. Like majorly, few EDRs also blocks on the hash basis, but they are also doing the both like hash basis and the behavior basis, and few works on the only for the behavior basis. So enhance user model database. Usually you should keep everything to the aggressive, not to the extra aggressive, because that will cause the problem in the like what Falcon state for all of these settings. You should keep it aggressive instead of the extra aggressive. If you are doing a lab testings, or like you want, okay, like I have a multiple SOC members, or we are having the SOC team, or like if you have the resource, then you can keep it the extra aggressive as well. Else keep it on the aggressive. That works fine. Like so, there would be a less false positive rate. That's what we are goal. After the selecting all these settings, it will appear again, and you just have to save the settings. So this policy is saved. Now assign host group. We are having two group, and okay, let me assign to the dynamic host only. Assign group, and this policy has been assigned to this group. So now let's move to the host group, host management, and the host groups, and delete one group which can cause the problem. Okay, delete group. Group deletion is also too easy. Like just go right click and the delete, and the one host is there. We can see in the dynamic, so there is no worries. Then there will be a audit log. Okay, which user in the Falcon, which, okay, suppose that this is info@record.com. What actions he did, okay, group to the policies, and these kind of policies he created. So you will be able to see all the data, like what is your employees doing on the CrowdStrike. So that would be the major thing. Like, okay, like if you are having the multiple teams members, and so there would be a audit log for everything. After the prevention policies, let's move to the response policies. The response policies usually appear on the offset and management, and the response and the containment. Let's move to the response policies. So this is the response policies, same as the prevention policies. Prevention policies, this is the goal is to like how to prevent attacks. Suppose that like after the prevention policies, there would be a response policies. Okay, attack has happened. Now what we have to do? Now we have to respond it. For the response it, since it's the EDR, it will automatically respond it. But since we are having the policies, the major goal is like you can take control of that device, and you can run a multiple commands on this device. You just have to enable these policies as suggested. Without it, you won't able to use it. And you just have to select this setting. Custom script, like allow those RTR active responders plus RTR administrators role to run scripts. And you can also run the Falcon custom script, which is provided by Falcon. Then there would be a files, like, okay, you can get any files from the device, you can put any files, you can do the process memory dump for that remote host, or you can do the complete memory dump for the remote host, or you can run the like any executable file on the remote host, or you can put the file and run it. Kind of like you can put any exe and run it on it. or either you can use this to get the browser history of any users, or you can see, okay, like if you are not having the MDM, you can use kind of this RTR feature to getting the many details. Okay, like if he is using the Chrome browser, then you will able to see, okay, how many emails are logging, what are these email address. There would be multiple files, like whatever present in the device, you can query it and get it, or like you can do the actions like running custom scripts and everything. So the same, every policy should be assigned to a host group. So let me assign the host group. How this policy should works. I will show these policies in actions. Let's move like how RTR works. Before the RTR works, you have to go to the host settlement management, and there will be a user management tab. You have to assign the appropriate role. Make sure like while testing the RTR functionality, you should be having the role for the real-time responses. Since I'm not having, you just have to click on the open details page, and then wait a second. There will be a button called view detailed page. After that, you can assign any roles. Role assignment can be the temporary or the can be the permanent as well. You can see the temporary roles. You can set up the time limits, and also you can assign this role to the particular host group only instead of the all host. Okay, like okay, this user should able to access only their host groups. So this kind of feature should be available in the user management tab as well. Let's move to the testing of the real-time response feature. Just have to go to the host management and select your host, obviously. And there would be, you can see there would be a 3 lines. And you can see there would be a button for the RTR connect host. What this will do is this will create the sessions over the internet. It will be a secure session, and using the CrowdStrike cell only, you can run any kind of command log. Suppose this is the Windows device, I can just see, okay, how many user is there. Just have to select it and the run script. Run script is disabled by policies, so policies application can takes like 5 to 40 minutes as per the CrowdStrike guideline. So we have to wait a little bit, and then we will see this in action as well. So either you can, CrowdStrike will also give this kind of commands. Okay, what you want, like encrypt any file, they run a CrowdStrike Windows diagnosis tool over the Windows, or like what you have to do, enumerate the local users and they get the SSID. Let's try this commands. So run commands will be option for the commands defined by the CrowdStrike, and the edit and analyst scripts defined for the like it is for the custom commands. You can use any argument and you can run it. So you can see there is a main username which is like the real user. The name is the administrator, and this is the SID details for this user. So this is the main goal of this. And you can also install, like you can use curl or wget to install anything on the systems, and like do a silent installations or the silent push over the user systems. That would also work fine. After that, since we are viewing the features of the device, what we can achieve from here is we already talked about the connect host, and you see, okay, if there is an attack and attack has happened on the device, there will be options called the network contain host. What it will do is like it will contain all the network operations, so it will stop the attacker's communications from the attacker server. So even though if the attackers are in, they cannot perform any actions or they cannot take remote of control of our devices. The main goal of this feature is. So what happens like when I enable this network contain options, or like when I contain any host from the CrowdStrike, what it will do is like it will block all the network communications expect the CrowdStrike the cloud. So we can run any command on the device, we can change the password for the user, but that we can do only from CrowdStrike console. Other than this, no one can access this device. Like this would be the offline for everybody other than the CrowdStrike. So that's the major goal of this feature. And you can also do the like once you do the network containment, you can also lift the network containment as well. You can see the host timelines here. Let me show you the host timelines, like okay, when is login and the asset details we already talked about. What is the grouping tags should be there, like okay, it's in the dynamic group. And the disable detection, suppose that you are doing some kind of installations and you know, okay, this file is not malicious, but blocking it multiple times and we are not able to use the explosion. In this case, you can use the disable detections feature for the as an exception for few minutes or like 10 minutes, 20 minutes once you are installing something, and then whitelisting would be a very easy for you. This is the host timeline, entities, others like what actions are detected on the host user login, when the user login, these kind of details you will able to see over the host management. So okay, if it is in RMF mode, RFM mode is like reduced functionality mode. Suppose that you are having the 10 license and you are installing CrowdStrike on the 11, 12 or 13 systems. So CrowdStrike let you to install the systems or the Falcon sensor over these devices, but it won't work as expected. Like it won't contain, it won't detect anything. It device control policies. Let's go to host setup and management. It is VRN. Now we have to select the endpoint security and let's move to the device control policies. Yeah. In the device control section, there will be a device policy. Instead, select that. Usually used for the blocking the USBs or the classes of the devices. First, USB block. These policies are also OS bound, and this policy is available only for the Windows and Mac. For the Linux, we don't have this feature. So once you just have to go to you have to enable the policies first. And there would be multiple options like monitor mode or the monitors and enforce mode. PCI devices used for the SD card and USB mode used for the or like wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, wireless headphone, or even the like the device which can use the like you can block the external keyboard as well if you want from this USB mode only. And you can usually use for the blocking the USB which contains data or like you are having the responsive systems. Okay, this my X system is having the confidential data and I don't want anyone to connect to USBs and get the data. But we will see the weakness of the systems as well. As of now, you just have to select the monitor and enforce instead of this and the save the policies. After that, there would be a like categories of the USB devices, any videos, audio, imaging, master storage, mobile. Okay, if you want your mobile to be connected or not, and you have to open every options and select okay, full block, imaging like audio, video. Two things you can like it's based on your requirement only. And the major thing is add exception here. You can just select the any class, combined registry. Combined registry is a value which is given by the CrowdStrike. Once you put any USB on your device, you will be able to see the thing, and you can also make the temporary executions, and you can add the exception, and you can do the both thing like the full access or the full block. Suppose that there is a class of the USBs like the Arduino board which is not listed in the CrowdStrike, so you can. And if your employee is trying to that, they can most probably able to run the script or get the data. So you have to block you have to do a monitoring like since that's a XDR ADR kind of the SOC solution. So if your team is doing monitoring and you can see okay on the X systems one unknown categories of the or unknown classes of the device has been connected, then you will able to see the combined ID of that device over the policy sections, and you have to just put this combined ID and add as exception and block it. Obviously you have to save these changes, and the same we have to do with the PCI devices. So let's move. Yeah, policy settings has been changed. Now, as discussed, we have to assign host group. So I'm assigning it, assign group. So now this policies will be going to apply on this host group as well. Now for the MacBook, there will be option for the Bluetooth control as well, but for Windows, it's not there. I will show you the like it will show okay on which device how many Bluetooth device has been connected, but it is not available for the MacBook. Other than the device control, which is usable for you, you can say the device uses by host and the device block or file returns to the media audio. So these three settings should be important for you. This will show you, okay, if you give the computer name, it will give, okay, these many USB devices has been connected to this device so far. This data is based on your retention plan and policies. It's not like same for everybody. You is having 7 days, you is having 20 days, and like it can go up to 180 days as per my understanding. But a few customers can have the this settings for the 1 year as well. Same settings would be here, and then the what files, if you give the computer name and so, okay, save, it will give you the file name as well. Okay, this file has been written on this USBs from this device, or either this file has been written from this device to this USBs or the USBs to the device. You can see the multi-directional things here. After this, we should move to the firewall policies. Firewall policies is very simple, not nothing much complicated. You can just either create the policies, same policies, it is also on the OS based firewall test Windows. You can put the name of the OS so it will be easy for you to remember it. Like, okay, this policy is on for Windows and this policy is for the MacBook. That's the major goal. After that, you have to enable these policies. Obviously, without this it won't work. Now, hopefully, you will understand this. And there will be options enforce policies or keep it in monitor mode. We are enforcing it. Local logging, okay, block all the inbound connections or they block all the outbound connection. If you block all the inbound traffic,